It's time to gather together. Hi there, I'm Yelta, and I'll be buying the first round while we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 198. Pull up a chair and join us. On the menu tonight, new optional items available. Final Fantasy XIV fan kit updated. Little Ladies' Day festivities begin March 2nd. Join us for artwork of Final Fantasy XIV live stream on Saturday, February 29th. Introducing the creation of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers Dev Diary series and fan mail. But first, let's shoot the shit what has been going on this week. Hi, Ruby.
What's up, Yelta?
What is up?
It is the week after patch 5.2. Are we still playing? Yes. There's still lots to do in patch 5.2. I didn't stay on top of like the clears for Savage, but I think that shit was done like immediately, right? Like, was there even leaderboards this go around? Did anybody even care about it?
No, the Twitters were full of it, but it was already done by the time we recorded last time.
I'm certain it was done by the time I recorded. It might have been done by the time I woke up after the patch went out. I don't honestly know. So congrats to whoever did that first. But it's happened so fast now. It's almost like Ultimate is the one that people care about. Well,
did you hear what the people who did clear said? The World First group?
No, what they said?
They were like, they did not worry about the meta, it sounded like. They played with people on jobs that they liked and could still do the thing. So it was actually kind of cool.
So meta breaking. The meta is no meta.
I guess.
I mean, that's good to hear. I'm sure Yoshida would be happy to hear it. I mean, remember way back in the day, they made it such that someone would not want to bring 8 black mages into it, right? That was the example. You don't want to have like a tank and all black mages.
Yeah, you still don't want dupes, but yeah.
Right. But it's nice that you can do what you want to do. I think it's always been that way to some extent. I think there have been Tears of Savage, probably Heaven's Word, where you really did have to bring the harder. A game. Yeah, incredibly harder. But, now it seems like Savage, it's done the next day, within 2 days, and it's just kind of a blip in the radar. The real shit is Ultimate, which we will not be getting in 5.3. Yeah. So it'll be some time before we're seriously worried about leaderboards, unless you're into the Feast. I was asking around about the Feast this week. I kind of want to try it. I even watched a couple of videos about it just to see what it'd be like. And I know there's a practice sort of deal, so maybe I won't get yelled at. I know your story, Yelta, about how you got yelled at.
I got yelled at. Got told not to do it.
Yeah.
I queued up for the wrong thing.
So I want to queue up for the right thing and try that. But I did do some PvP this week. I was on a quest for tomes, of course. I'm trying to gear up. I'm 2 eye levels behind doing any of the new shit. So I'm catching up. I'll be there. But today is Thursday, and I didn't play yesterday, so I got to get on top of it. I've been trying to get the tomes, and I did PvP, like I said, but I fucked up. I did PvP on my Bard, and I wasn't thinking, because my Bard is only like level 74. So I got out of it, and I got a level, and I'm like, oh, great, but I didn't get no tomes. But it's fun, and I do enjoy the PvP. Now it's got those 5 seconds to come back. It's not
it just auto raises you back. That's
right.
Nice.
It's not like 5, 10, 15, 20 anymore, any of that, and it just seems to go a lot faster. Maybe with the increased potencies, things. When I got targeted, I went down pretty damn quick. I was also on Squishy Bard, and I don't know. I was telling my wife, it feels like in PvP at least, and at least on Bard, you almost get this kind of skill tree feeling where you can only bring 2 abilities, and I brought in like, I don't know, something like foot shot and leg shot or arm shot or something. I'm like heavy and bind. So I've got a heavy, a bind, and a stun or a silence. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be that status, that debuff Bard. But you could probably bring like other things like extra DPS or other kits. And I think PvP might be like that little area where a skill tree, I'm saying skill tree, but maybe I don't mean skill tree, but it's something like that could be viable, where it's like sort of you got different builds to your job. I think that could be viable within PvP. I'd love to see that in the main game, but I feel like we're just far from that at this point. The different builds are the different jobs, right? You just rotate your jobs if you want to play a different type of DPS or tank, what have you. But with PvP, I felt like on Bard at least, I had different roles I could play, or I could do it the way I wanted to. So that was fun, and I like rooting people in place and helping my team just eat them up. I root other DPSs and just like, oops, sorry, root the healer trying to get away. It's fun. So PvP, I love it. It gives me a bloodlust, but I do want to try other modes, so we'll see how I do. I'm trying to mix up my play styles as I come back into 5.2. I ran E5 tonight. Did not get anything because I passed on all the accessories because last week I was talking about I have like head and hands. So I was like, I'm going to lot on those and maybe belt, but I don't want a lot on the accessories. So I didn't win. I might have bumped me where I needed to be if I'd won that tonight, but we'll see. I've still got a few more days to hit that 470 mark, and then we'll see. We'll see what happens this weekend. I've got a work engagement on Saturday, but maybe Saturday night if my eye level's right. We'll see where I'm at, and then there's definitely next week. And I know the group is doing all kinds of good stuff in EX and Savage, and I'm going to let Yelta talk about that in just a second. But the only other thing I did this week was Pokemon Go, because I am still deep in Pokemon Go, and they're running like clone Pokemon all week. Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoises, and Armored Mewtwo's, because the movie is coming back on Netflix. It's available now, I think. And so I've been running. I found this group in my town that I work, and they run during lunch and they run after work. And I jumped in a couple of days, and boy howdy, like the leader comes out, I kid you not, with this tray of 6 phones out of his truck. And he's like, all right, guys, the private password is Squirtle, Blastoise Squirtle. Everybody's queued up, ready to go. Make sure your inventory, you have slots. Make sure that you have slots for additional Pokemon. Let's go. So it's cool, though. Hey, it's nice. I like leaders. I like somebody, especially something I don't know anything about. I like somebody to kind of take charge and help me out. And they're friendly about it. I ran with another group last week in a different town on the weekend, and they were okay, but like I got lost and I showed up a little bit late, and like this one guy's like, "You're late." I'm like, what the fuck? I ain't working here, man. I just walking up. I was like, no, I'm good, dude. I'm good. And that was that. And they like ran off, and I was like, okay, it's a little different. So everybody's got their own styles. If you've done this before and you got you had a bad experience, you should try again. I think it's kind of fun. So I'm loving what I'm doing. And 5.2 back to 14. You can go to the forums. We ain't got anything from the forums this week. I didn't read any weird shit from the forums, but you can go to the forums. You can hear all kinds of bad shit. What's that?
Try harder. No,
Try harder.
I didn't
go to
have
the
a
third
chance to
page
either.
of the new posts in the official forums. Maybe we'll find something about scantily dressed teenagers there. I don't know. Anyway, what I'm saying is there's a lot of bad news. You can find it if you're looking for it, but there's some good fun groups and shit out there. And Yelta's going to tell us about the fun groups that she ran with this past week. So Yelta, what'd you do?
The group where I got asked if I was a trap?
Wow, that's interesting. Now, by trap you mean this is a trap party where
I think I was
clear.
just losing. I don't know what there was a lot of bad going on in that party, and I think I was
blame the healers.
The healers. I think it really was going on. But my week, Tuesday did a couple lockouts of Eden 5 Savage. We didn't kill it, but I'm told I have seen all the mechanics, and it didn't melt my brain. The mechanics seem pretty, it's pretty scripted and pretty straightforward. Not a whole lot to look at. We had one pug, I think, Ruby. We had a DPS that would not do the thing. So.
That would have been me not doing the thing if my eye level was...
No, you could stand in a line when Belle yells at you to do so. I couldn't on the last poll. Apparently everybody's like, they're like east side or west side or whatever. I'm like calmly walking over, stand there, and I'm just like, yep, I'm good. And then right before the thing went off, they're like, Yelta, you're on the wrong side. And I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm losing focus. But I think it was good. I think I've heard some whispers. People want to maybe do another night this week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to before Tuesday, but we'll see. We'll see. No clear, but saw the mechanics. Did some more clears of Ruby EX. There's still a couple of I have trouble with the dashes. I think I'm starting to get a feel for how to position for the first one, and someone gave me a hint for the second one. And as long as I stay focused, and half the time I think I lose focus because someone died to something really stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, so, and in fact, we went last night, some of us, and it was a clear party, but we could not clear. We got all the way to the end and just kept hitting in a rage. So, too many deaths, and I think not enough, probably mostly not enough damage. So, but I still don't have like any drops from that fight, but oh well. I guess I've only cleared it like 8 times, so a couple more and I can just go buy my weapon. But I had a bad luck map party.
Oh, I wasn't there.
You weren't even there.
How did that work?
I don't know. We just didn't get portals, and when we got portals, we got kicked out right away, and nothing good dropped. And
who ran with you on that?
It was somebody had one in the party finder, and I apologize, but I can't remember who. Someone in her link shell even. The name is escaping me. Brock did join, I think. The same party. They had a party finder up, and I'm like, I could do some maps for an hour or whatever. But even when you do terrible in there, you still are making money. It's still a net gain. You're still getting some tomes. So
I have to give Brock shit about that.
He kept evoking your name because you were logged on, and I'm like, no, we decided that the Rubicon curse was lifted. I thought.
Hey, Brock, this message for you. No, you son of a bitch. I was not there. You cannot claim Ruby's bad luck. The curse is broken. You find your bad luck elsewhere, sir.
Maybe it was the kitty god.
Oh shit! You're invoking the kitty god at this point.
That's to go. It's been a while.
Bringing it way back.
Yeah, that's going way back. I think I finally took her off my blacklist because I couldn't remember what she did.
How kind of you.
I can't keep people. We were talking before the podcast. It's hard to stay mad.
Right,
if I can't remember what you did to me, I'm going to take you back off my blacklist.
I mean, I removed all the people I muted on Twitter, and that's something. I completely unmuted. I realized that I had a ton of people muted because, spoilers, because of nudes and lewds. It was a little too much at one point. And politics every now and again.
Yeah.
And then you've got just like your Neanderthals. Apologize to real Neanderthals out there, but yeah, you just have some real dumb people on Twitter that I just read one line of what they put and I'm like, mute. But I released them all. They've all been pardoned. If you get back on my mute list, maybe you'll stay permanently at this point. We'll see.
I have like where I don't mind when like a lewd image pops up, except for if I'm like screwing around on my phone on my lunch hour at work and I'm like, oh, there's a big giant penis.
Well, I was getting like the two Mikotes kissing with both giant penises that were bigger than their heads and they were intertwined with each other. It's like those were the ones that were causing me to hit the mute button. Yeah,
not really my taste. Just a little bit. You're like at work and you're like, oh fuck.
And these were female Mikote with giant penises. And if I wasn't clear about that.
Giant watermelon boobs.
Of course. Doesn't that make your back hurt? Just kidding.
And I was also at the Gold Saucer when the new Leap of Faith came up, and I had heard that the jumps were easier. And I still couldn't finish it because I suck. But actually, I think I don't know how much more was left. You do a jump, and then like the second jump held me up for a long time. I was having trouble with this tree root. I think I might have been overthinking it. And a lot of the jumps, if you jump, you start at the beginning. You don't just fall down somewhere lower and just do the previous section over. You go all the way back to the beginning. So I'll try it again. I'd like to, finish it. Jumping games are not my thing, and everybody knows Final Fantasy XIV jumping mechanics not really that good anyway.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm glad they didn't like lock a music scroll behind it or something. As long as I can get my MGP a different way. That's what's hard for me with the Mahjong. I don't have it in me to sit through those games of Mahjong, even though and I've tried to figure out how it works, and they've locked a scroll behind it, and it's like I guess I just never will have that scroll. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll give Frey my password. That's it. No, I wouldn't do that. Frey's good at that though.
Is he really?
It's my understanding. Yeah, he certainly seems to know what he's doing too. But that was kind of my week. I did play a little Minecraft also. Hermitcraft Season 6 wrapped up. My sister is a huge Hermitcraft fan. And when they wrap their seasons, they upload their world so you can download it and host it and play on it. So I have a waterfall or bungee cord server, and I spun up a world and put up a portal so people can get onto my server and go over and check that out. We were touring that earlier today. There's some pretty fucking impressive builds. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And then I did some mining and crafting. I'm digging a subway. We're thinking we're either doing a train above ground or subway underneath, or maybe both. Except for I let my players teleport all over the place anyway and set lots of homes and stuff, so there's not really any reason to travel. But I don't know. But that was about my week. I probably did other things. I don't remember them. I did all the normal stuff. I did cap. I did get all my normal Eden stuff. I did Beast Tribe dailies every day, and that continues to be kind of cute. There's not much to it. I think the twist is you get to choose. This is a little bit of a spoiler, so skip ahead. I said last time I wouldn't say it, but part of the Beast Tribe dailies is every of the, you get a certain reputation at the rank up quest. They go and find this thing, and what it depicts is, and then you have 2 different characters describe what they think it is from history. And so one of it's kind of like, oh, our people were enslaved or whatever. And the other one's like, oh no, our people were protected and joined up freely and whatever. So one of them's kind of like doom and gloom, and the other one's like, no, it was all beneficial to everybody. Kind of the sunny way. So I don't have it in me to pick the doom and gloom option. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of curious if anything looks any different or anything different. I'm curious if anything different happens if you pick they were enslaved. But I'm curious if there's any differences, right? If there's anything materially different. Probably not. They said the rewards weren't going to be any different, I think. But the narrative is a little different.
Okay. I never really mind when things like that are, as long as I can kind of see what the other is. Like I played Star Wars: The Old Republic, and of course, you've got different narratives whether you pick light or dark or what have you, but they all end up at the same spot in the end.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind as long as I can get all the same rewards.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be like locked out of a mount.
Right.
Especially in this game when you have like a one character can be all the things. I would not want any material things to hinge on that. I mean, if, a little bit of dialogue is different one way or the other, that doesn't bother me. But no, it's kind of neat. I kind of like it, but I would be curious to hear from anybody if they did pick the other one, or if there's if you pick some of his and some of his, what happens. So, but that was my week, I think. You can shoot the shit with us. Come to the website or tweet us or email us. The site is www.gtffxiv.com, and let us know what you have been up to for this week. The first round is news. Of course, we have new optional items are available.
Weekly thing. This one's good, though.
This one's good. This is Ishtola's new outfit. The headdress, the robe, the gloves, and the boots. $12, one character. And then for $3 additional, you can get Nightseeker, which is her Black Mage staff. So it's cool. It's kind of cute.
Yeah, we still have an outfit that this is female only. I still don't necessarily have a problem with that.
Nah, it's not dyeable either.
It's
it
not
doesn't bother
dyeable
me
either. The weapon's separate, huh?
The weapon's separate, so yeah, if you want the staff, that didn't seem to be female only. So
Yeah, and I guess I can see why they do that because you might be a man with a staff.
Yeah.
When I was white mage, I was a man with a staff. This is well, I guess that would be a cane, wouldn't it? Anyway,
actually,
whatever.
Yeah, white mage cane.
Whatever.
I did buy this just for science and because it looks cool. It's not as cool on a Lalafell like many other things, but the headpiece is really cute because it looks like earrings when I wear that. It's the little feathers next to the sides of her face. So it's cute. It doesn't show up so good with my hairstyle, but I
like how they show Vieira with it. Oh, never mind.
Oh no.
That's not
Actually, somebody said that somebody tried it on one of our free company mates, and I think they said that on Vieira it looks nice.
Oh, cool.
It does. I think it did show up on Vieira.
I think it should because it's not impeding the ears
hair.
in any way. Yeah.
Yeah, because it literally looks like pierced earrings on me with feathers. So.
What was the cute picture that was put in our Discord today? Was it like it was a Vieira wearing a hat and the ears were tucked under the hat?
Oh yeah, like the little hat that's in a lot of the crafted gear.
Something.
Yeah, the little crafted
crafting hat
like that. All right. Then they also updated the Final Fantasy XIV fan kit. See, they must listen to the show, right?
So this time it was updated.
This time it was updated. It wasn't just new. It was updated. So what do we got? We got desktop wallpapers are updated. Oh, Echoes of a Fallen Star. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm looking
at the top.
Look at a ring phone.
On
Yeah, with the crystal Echoes of the Fallen Star. I love that graphic. I think it's
it's pretty cool.
I think it's telling of what's happening, light and darkness. So pretty neat.
Looks like the class and job icons got something changed with it. Twitter icons. Looks like they updated. Oh man, they're all those. Those are cute.
Yeah, cute jobs.
Yeah, cute. I still use my picture from 1.0. I'm so lame. So yeah, go check that out if you need some new media for your computer. Little Ladies' Day is coming. That's on March 2nd. That's coming up here. When is that? That's Monday.
Next week.
Huh. So from March 2nd at 12 a.m. PST to March 16th at 7:59 a.m., we are getting Little Ladies' Day again. Click on for more details. We have lots of happy people in this picture, bringing joy to the ladies of the realm wherever they may be.
Oh.
Looks like this starts in Ulda again. Pretty in Peaches is the quest, level 15. Oh, look, this is a hair thing it's a head thing they showed Ana Vieira.
Ana Vieira.
Oh, it's a spray of flowers and it's cute.
It's cute, yeah.
It looks like it's dyeable. Boys get a monocle.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know if they're boys and girls. Obviously. We don't know.
I'm not seeing anything that says one or the other.
All classes. Let me scroll down.
Let me see item details. Let's see.
I don't see the little boy or girl picture.
I really don't.
That would be cool. Oh, and an Eastern stage, which is kind of cool. And then the Little Ladies' Day banner. I actually really like that banner. I may have to do whatever I need to get a couple of those for my house. I don't like pink in real life, but for some reason, Yelta enjoys pink.
Go Yelta.
Isn't that weird?
I think some people were oohing and ahhing over this stage. I think this stage is going to be a big deal for some people because it's a stage with a new look. I think the stage was a great addition when they did start putting those in there. It seemed like, this is just my opinion, my skepticism here, but whenever the troupe started beginning doing the arts and crafts and having people come out. What's that good troupe that does all the Broadway type? A Realm. What's that outfit go? I love these guys. I don't know why it's escaping me right
I'm
now.
blanking on it because I go to it half the time. They're like one of my first. Oh no, they've fallen down. They're not at the very, very, very top of my.
Oh, I can tell
used
you.
to be.
Yeah, I'll tell you where I can go to see it up at Patreon, because they've just recently done some
A Stage Reborn.
A Stage Reborn.
It's a
I
Stage
kept
Reborn.
wanting
It
to
feels
say a
so
Realm
stupid.
Reborn.
I know. I'm
Realm
like,
Reborn.
the word reborn was coming, but I'm like, so yeah. No, they do lovely, lovely work.
Oh, absolutely. But I felt like after A Stage Reborn started doing some big productions, like I Want to Be Your Canary, I think was one of the big ones that they had done. Then we started seeing like stages, stage lights. We started seeing like a bunch of stuff like that come out, curtains and stuff. And I was like, this is nice. So there is a huge need for these type of items within the community. So a shout out to A Stage Reborn. This is our apology for forgetting your name 5 minutes ago. A Stage Reborn. If you have not ever done or seen or any other stuff, fantastic. I'm going to look up their YouTube right now, because I'm sure they've got a great YouTube channel here. A Stage Reborn. They do have a YouTube channel, so go to their YouTube channel. You can see past performances, see what they're about. They are a not-for-profit. They take any donations and they use it for the betterment. The arts, they bring the arts with it to Final Fantasy XIV. So again, A Stage Reborn on YouTube. Check them out, and then you can go to their About page and go to all their links and read about who they are and what they do.
All right. There's not much else on here. I'm assuming this is probably going to be one of those short and sweet quests again. I don't know. I can't imagine they make that one very long.
Little Ladies Day is so off my radar. Like, I'm always like, oh, we got papaya coming up.
Yeah.
Eggs. You know,
because it's already. Yeah, what is that? That's coming up too.
Yeah, Easter's not terribly long from now.
We just had Ash Wednesday, so.
40 days.
Mm.
So, so we've got, but the Little Ladies always sneaks up on me. I get it confused with some of the other events, and I guess it's just in between, since it's in between Valentino's and Egg Quest. I forget what it's called. But Hatching Tide. I sometimes I think that the Shenisol and all those stuff for Little Ladies Day comes from the Valentino's quest.
Oh, I can see that melding together in your head. Yeah. All right, join us for the artwork of Final Fantasy XIV live stream on Saturday, February 29th. That is was originally planned to be a PAX East panel, but so many people, I think, weren't going to PAX East, right? They canceled a lot of stuff.
Right.
So it says, join us as producer-director Yoshida and lead character concept artist Yusuke Mogi go behind the scenes on the different techniques used to create a variety of Final Fantasy XIV artwork, including jobs, NPCs, monsters, and equipment. We'll also be sharing some fun stories surrounding our development process. They'll be answering some questions that they've collected from the forums. And this will be Saturday, February 29th at 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. Eastern. And it will be on the Final Fantasy Twitch channel. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad they're still going to do something, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about a little bit last week where they're going to do the Q&A stuff, and it's good that they're continuing to do that, so we would have those responses, and it's really good that they're doing something rather than nothing. There were so many disappointed people, you know, and I know the group is still going out there because I'm seeing the pictures. I've seen Bayonne tweet. I've seen Aya tweet. They're all going out there, and they're going to have a good time. You're going to be able to meet and greet, and I saw the scarves. You know, so there's shit out there, but at the same time, it's not all out there, you know, and this is bigger fears, you know. I don't want to turn this into the coronavirus podcast, but it is bigger fears, you know, like stock market's kind of dropping points, and there's all kinds of shit going across the country. Italy's having outbreaks, and there's stuff happening, and you know, you got the Olympics coming up, maybe. It's wild, so take care of yourself while you're out there. You know, do what you need to do to protect yourself. But it is a little scary to think, you know, we're canceling things in advance. And I just like last week, I said this. It's for the betterment of the company. They have a global workforce. You have to protect your people. It's the right thing to do. but it sucks and it's scary that it's starting to affect things closer to home. You know, it's not just something on the news. You bought tickets to something and this shit went belly up, and you're like, oh, fuck, this is hitting me a little closer to home.
Not where it hurts, kind of, yeah.
Your dick.
Right in the dick. Oh, it's too many dicks. All right, introducing the creation of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers Dev Diary series. This surprised me that it was happening, and I was very, it was pretty cool. So they're proud to present a brand new developer diary series that takes viewers behind the scenes of the critically acclaimed Shadowbringers expansion, get a glimpse of the creative minds behind Shadowbringers through 6 new episode developer diary series, each featuring a different element of the title and the hard work that went into crafting the experience. So it's what do we got, like a 9-minute video. Episode 1, Telling a Tale, focuses on the lore and narrative of Shadowbringers, as well as the inspirations and secrets behind its development, featuring interviews with Yoshi Oda, world lore creator and main scenario writer, and Ishikawa, main scenario writer. Yeah, so there's 6 in all. Did you check this out at all?
A little bit. We talked about this before the podcast, and I was able to run through some of it, and it's neat to see these interviews. I think there's some good information inside. We've seen Ishikawa. She was at the, what was that? Was it a panel or a fan fest that we, was she at the fan fest? I don't remember.
I know that something we watched.
It was a big deal. It was a big deal. She came out and did a big thing. Maybe it was the 14-hour broadcast. It was something. It was big, and everybody has been applauding her because she wrote Shadowbringers, and it's a fantastic story. It's one of the best mainline Final Fantasy stories. Fight me. It is.
Fight me.
Right now I'm watching the scene of a chick, her face melting, and that was like so fucking scary to see that in the first hour of a new expansion. I did not expect to see this bitch puke and turn white and turn into a monster. It's just, it's insane. So cool.
Well, and in that short scene, you kind of like first kind of get to know a character a little bit.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, this is maybe, you know, someone important now, and she is. So she is, but and they just kind of gutted you, and it really, without trying to explain what is so rough about this world, it just was like, this is people's reality. This isn't even unusual, right? That's really what kind of got me. Is it's terrifying. Just, you know, and that's just their reality.
Yeah.
And they could have described that in words, but you know, they showed it to us. And then later in the video, they talk a lot about how, you know, light and darkness isn't good and evil. And Yoshi P is trying to describe that. When he's talking about the Sin Eaters, he's not really, they're like the equivalent of the Void Sent, just from the light side.
Right.
You know, so, and how the duality there, you know, you have to reframe your thinking.
It's told well. You know, it's a take on that Final Fantasy III, the Warriors of Darkness at one time saved the world, and now the Warriors of Light have come to save the world, and world requires balance. You can tip the scale too far in one direction or the other, and this manages to tell that in a way where light is frightening. To have complete nothingness is scary, you know? Think about that for eternity. That makes you want to turn around from that. So Ishikawa is amazing for writing this tale. The other thing we talked about before this podcast was Oda. We've seen Oda before, but my God, this man looks young for writing the lore to this game. You know, he's writing thousands of years worth of lore. He is the lore boss that tells Michael Koji Fox what to do. You know, he's his boss. And this guy looks so freaking young to me. Mm-hmm. Oh, well. Mm-hmm. Good skin. Good genes. Yep. So this was, you know, 9. It's just, you know, under 10 minutes. I thought it was cool. Don't forget to hit the closed caption button. It is in. They do have English captions for us. How dare these Japanese people speak Japanese?
Oh, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the other 5. So it's pretty cool. All right, what else do we have? That is it, I think, for the news.
Well, I found something, Yelta.
I know. I'm taking a shot right now.
Oh boy,
Take it, Ruby.
I'll take it. This kind of came across while we were podcasting, I think. So this is some news that was posted a day ago. We found this on Reddit. This was sent over to us, and it is the Chinese server banned 44 accounts for illegal T clears. Whoa. So I'm going to read this here. We've got some links to an image as well. As they warned before, Chinese servers suspended 44 accounts for at least 7 days, which are accused of rule-breaking T clears, and that's the ultimate fight for Alexander. In the first day after 5.11's release, some of them are accused of clearing not by themselves, and those who logged in with other people's accounts to clear it also got punishment on their own accounts. Their rewards and achievements were removed too. The manager said on his SNS that they used some data analysis methods to check the actual player's identity. An update on February 27th, the suspension list has risen to 72 now.
Holy shit.
And an interesting conversation between a suspended player and GM where he was trying to apply to cancel it, meaning he was trying to put in his, rebuttal, hey, stop trying to cancel my account. So here's the conversation. Submit his DC server and ID. Okay, so this guy submits to the GM his ID, server name. Says, I have submitted an application to cancel the suspension with my video sent to your email. The GM responds, hello. If you use other people's accounts to clear it, it is also against our rule. The player says, this is my account, and I didn't go anywhere else, but I used a VPN. The GM says, then could you please tell me why did you help Kubaji, that's the ID name, on the server 2, and I can't pronounce his name, starts with a B, server clear it 2, meaning you were like in 2 places at the same time, I think, and how are you able to do this? So they clean in house on these Chinese servers. I think it's kind of funny. The first comment here says, if only they could do that here, and the response is not enough surveillance outside of China to do that, sarcasm, but they know a lot on those Chinese servers. They know what you're doing. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's got the same stuff in place that we hear about cell phones and all that other propaganda that we hear over here in the States. But I would not be surprised to know that they are using outside data to sew these cases up, because we saw that even here, where Twitch was used to serve a ban or a suspension, if you will, to Arthas when he did his little rant. So it's there. And then the mods, even worse to me, is you can call somebody stupid for whatever, and I know it's bad, but to me the underage lewd nude mods, that's get rid of that shit immediately. So yeah, but that was outside information that was used to throw the book at those people. So I don't know. Have you read any of these comments here, Yelta?
No, I haven't been following that at all.
So I don't know. I maybe this is just the beginning. I can't believe 72 people were in on this scheme to clear T.
Well, it might have been multiple groups too. It might not have been. I don't know. It just seems like more than I thought would be doing it. But
yeah, I did read some in the comments down here, and they regressed into, well, I see people with ultimate weapons die to normal tactics all the time, and maybe they cheated too. Well,
yeah,
they're probably just bored out of their mind.
I played with an ultimate legend the other day who couldn't heal a paper,
I mean, if you can memorize a fight or whatever, and then I don't know, it's hard to even determine skill. Everybody wants DPS meters, but if you stand in bad, it don't matter how much your DPS meter. So that doesn't necessarily matter all the time. And just as you mentioned, the whoever did world first, whatever, this past time wasn't even using the meta. So Don't stand in orange circles. But you can even have an ultimate weapon and still manage to stand in an orange circle somewhere, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're not good enough to clear an ultimate fight. You just are tired or don't care or whatever. Drunk. Whatever.
I have been kicked out of parties for being drunk. But
Well. What's the solution? Drink more?
Just realize you're done and log out.
Oh, okay.
That's the proper answer is know when you're done.
So this is interesting. I don't know what'll come of it after that. We'll see what happens after this. They've banned for suspended. Remember when the Ungermax exploits happened and people were Ungermaxing outside of PvP content, and they were killing things with Ungermax.
I think I cleared a new EX Primal a couple of years ago.
You said it cleared fast. I think I remember.
Yeah,
this.
we got in there like a blind learning party, and we got in there, and in fact, we did a poll, and then did another poll, and then like it was dead. And
what was it, Zervan or something?
I don't remember. It was something like Zervan, and yeah, it was. But then we cleared it like 2 more times, and then someone was like, this doesn't seem right, because people were getting paranoid. Is there a bug? And some people were more like, are we going to get in trouble because we've like accidentally exploited a bug? And then someone else is like, if somebody's doing an exploit, I don't want to be in this party. So the party fell apart.
Yeah, well, that's good.
So.
That's for
right,
because
because something didn't feel right, and I was kind of like, I was, I was gonna, if we were gonna run it again, I was gonna try to see if I could see what's going on. But
especially if somebody
it was
at
something,
this point,
we had a ninja too, and it came out like the next day or something that it was a ninja thing. I thought.
Oh well, and to me, it's like if somebody has vocalized it at that point, and a GM can read that in the chat, I got to get the fuck out of there, man.
Yeah, it was. I did not.
You said it now. It's out. It's out there. Yeah. I'm not privy to this. If I accidentally stumbled into some shit and I didn't know what's going on and I had a suspicion, I'd be like, let's run this one more time so I can see what happened. I'd have been like, like, let me just see who's casting what to see what happened. Yeah. But as soon as somebody says the word exploit, fuck that. I am out. I'm not losing my account. I played this game way too goddamn long. I ain't losing my account over this shit.
I do not need a ban for something someone else is doing. No. I can get banned all by myself. Well, that's interesting. They do seem to be stepping it up with the banning or the suspensions and the slaps on the wrist and whatnot. Part of me gets scared, that I'm going to do something or piss somebody off, or, somebody will think I'm trolling a run when I'm just like worn out and probably should just be done.
So I'm reading another comment here, and I'll kind of leave it at this at the end. But somebody put 7 days suspended, not banned. Breaking TOS against the game rule, not illegal. And then people are kind of complaining like, well, they cheated, but everybody's like, fake penalty for cheating. But somebody's comment says, the ban is not the real punishment. It's that they lost the titles and weapons, which would have been the whole reason they paid for the clear in the first place. They wasted their money. If China's GM maintained the practice, it could do wonders for deterring clear selling on their version of the game, because nobody would want to risk money buying a clear if the goodies get taken away. So who knows what they paid, hundreds of dollars. Who knows what they paid to get a clear. And now you got your shit taken away and you got a slap. So,
yeah, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see. And again, that's China, right?
It's China.
Yeah, so this is not like our
Well, we'll see what happens at 5.5. Who wants to sell clears, boys?
Who wants to sell clears?
Who wants to sell some clears, boys?
Yep. All right, we have happy hour. We got a tweet. I want to thank a.hen for tweeting us. So at GTFFXIV, question for your podcast. I, as White Mage level 60 in Heavensward, just got advised that I should, before entering dungeons, watch videos detailing mechanics. Just wondering thoughts because I completely disagree. He knew it was my first time. Let me have that. First time through should be about experience. Help me out if I'm being a burden, but let me learn it. Please remember you had a first time too. And if you your first time was after watching a video, I kind of think you never really did it. So, okay, Gen Z. I have some strong feelings on this. And part of the reason I take time off on patch day, and I know not everyone can, so I try to, not worry about other new people. In fact, I think new people are adorable. And look, what did we do, Ruby, last week? When you went into Ruby normal mode, we let your ass die and cackled.
Oh, how could I forget?
Right. So, okay, first of all, if we're talking normal dungeons or anything you can queue up for in the party finder that's under like normal stuff, not the high-end stuff, I don't think you should have to watch a video. I don't think, just like a dungeon roulette, I don't think you should have to watch a video. If it's your first time, I don't even think a wipe. I'm one of those people, though, who doesn't think a wipe is the worst thing in the world. I would rather wipe and let the new person go, oh, wow, that's really cool, that hurts, or whatever. Mm-hmm. I hate queuing in to something new, and this even happens on the days I take the day off. I will queue in to that new dungeon, and I'm talking the storyline dungeon, and someone will already be, like, rattling off, go to the west when it does this and do that. And I'm like, I deserve to have that first time, at least, challenge. And, what's the burn is the one that gets a lot of people. So many people die at that dragon at the end. But I don't care. I like to let them die. And then once the wipe happens, if someone says, wow, what happened? I will be happy to explain. But I don't think anyone should have to watch a video to do, honestly, any normal content that you can just randomly queue up for in this game. It changes when you're joining any higher end party that's not marked blind run. That would be different to me. I don't go into extremes. I don't go into savages. I would never go into ultimate without, unless, because if there are parties still marked blind, even for Ruby EX. I saw a blind party for, Eden fights this week. So, you do have a chance if you want that new feeling there. But that I would more be like, those mechanics, are hard, and I, maybe watch a video. In fact, a lot of people are like, watch a video. But a lot of groups are just like, if you're in a learning party, even for that stuff, I don't necessarily expect you to watch a video. But what do you think?
Well, this question's a little loaded to me because I don't know all the angles. I took this a few different directions. So at a baseline, if you are entering some content and you are just like drooling all over yourself, like mindless and just terrible, I would say like, yeah, you need to know your rotation, you need to know what you're doing, you need to watch a video on how this game works. You okay? Like, if that's the level.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
if
that
they don't know how to play their job at all.
I'm not saying that this came in from somebody who just has no frickin' clue what's going on. So there is some level of like, okay, you were advised. Was it advised after the 7th wipe of something or something like that? But let's pretend it's not. Let's not some extreme case. It's just, hey, I queued in as a white mage. It's I don't know, one of those mountains.
There was a tank buster. I didn't know it was a tank buster.
Or something like that, and you're running
was a twister mechanic or something.
Yeah, or something like that, and then you just got into it, and you say, maybe you didn't wipe, you just get into it, and you go, first time, smiley face or something, and they're like, hope you watched a video because it's difficult. I don't agree with that at all either. I think you say first time, and you just run it. None of the stuff is that difficult that, as you dying, you couldn't be picked up, or we just start over. You could ask people what the mechanics are, but if you don't want to know, it sounds to me like you don't want to know what the mechanics are for a fight. Like, trying to run it blind, maybe tell people, like, hey, trying to run it blind, something like that. But I don't agree that you have to watch a video, honestly, on any dungeon. I don't think you need to watch a video on any soulless loot tunnel in this game. I don't think it's necessary. There are so many bads out there anyway. I don't think it really matters. The only times I ever really, really, really got frustrated with dungeons, of course, you've got those ones that come from Orem Vale. Those are always timeless, and Zamail Darkhold. But then the burn. The burn was one of those that if the healer just did not understand what to do in those mechanics, and then we had some changes around that time too, but there was something where
It's a learning curve also.
healers were just not taking off the debuffs, and people were just ticking down to death, and then AoE would go out, and it was almost like a normal EX difficulty to some of the mechanics in that some healers just did not understand. And we did have some job role changes. I think that was the same time that the role actions changed for us, and there was some difficulty.
Was that when it switched so you could maybe take all of it?
You could
I
take
know
all
a lot
of them.
Healers didn't used to take Isuna at all.
That's right.
They're like, most of the time it doesn't matter, so they wouldn't even use that one.
That was the time that you were allowed to take all 10, and people were not putting all 10 out there on their bar. And as a DPS, I was using Erase to take you know?
See, I have Isuna as one of my 6 extra keys on this keyboard.
Sure.
Isuna is like G4 on this keyboard, because that's, you use it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have Isuna in a touchable place on my healers. So, yeah, I think it's an important ability. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at, there are circumstances where I would say yes, watch a video. If something's been out, like a Savage fight or something has been out, you need to watch a video. If it's an EX fight's been out for a couple of weeks, I think you need to watch a video. In fact, I will watch the Ruby EX video before I go in, because people have cleared it, and there's a level of expectation, and I don't want to hold anybody up from, I want to go from a learning to a clear in the same night. Right. Okay, so right. I don't really want me learning what this tether mechanic does, and of course you have to watch it and then run it and die to go,
yeah,
I get it now. But then that prior knowledge kicks in. But to me, that's EX's, Savage's, Ultimates. I just don't really see it on anything else. If you don't like that, then sorry. I think that maybe it's just my own ability, but I can pick up on something after a wipe, and I don't really need help on normal or story-based things.
No, well, and even when I was in a couple of runs of the newest dungeon, and I think the second boss did an ability, and it turns out it's really, really straightforward. But there was some confusion. People were trying, we died, and we went and did it again, and we talked about it, and we're like, oh, this is what it is. And we figured it out. It was, I think it was my second time through the dungeon myself, but I must have just lucked out or guessed correctly. And the new person was like, what is going on? They were asking questions and stuff. And I know people who don't type well or who are on PS4, go get a keyboard. My God, it's just, it's just too useful to be able to type. What did I miss? And in fact, you know what? You can murder my entire fucking team, but if you type what just happened there, and we can respond to it. But I don't want to spoil stuff for you.
Yeah.
Your first run through, I like to cackle when Ruby dies horribly.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
You
do the same for me.
Oh, always. I would have let you die. I was just thinking, we say a lot, tell people, hey, I'm new, whatever else. And I'm sitting here thinking, if you don't say shit, maybe they just think you're bad, but then they don't give you any advice either.
Yeah.
And I hate that, because this game is supposed to be social, and I don't want to live in some fear that I say something, I'm going to get a term of service violation, or if I say something, somebody's going to be rude to me. You shouldn't live life that way. Fuck that. I don't want to live life that way,
No.
But at the same time, I almost would rather somebody think I'm just bad than them try to give me advice for something I don't want advice for. I don't know. I don't know. I wonder, Dot Hen, did you go in and say, I'm new? That would be my question. Did you say I'm new, and then some guy got on his soapbox and go, oh, God, here we go. Well, you should watch a video if you're new. And I'm a mentor.
There's a lot missing from this tweet. And in fact, I'd like a follow-up tweet, please.
Yeah, please.
Was it the 7th wipe? And was there just all bad going on? Or was it just someone just losing their fucking mind just because you were new and got hit by something, or just because you were new?
Did you tell them you were new? Did they assume you were new based on performance?
Well, he knew it was my first time.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And I know that for a lot of people who play a lot, doing their roulettes, they just want it over quickly. And yes, I want it done as quickly as feasibly possible.
Yelta, I haven't seen a countdown in anything I've done in the last week and a half since I've been playing for 5.2. People just run in and pull it without a countdown now. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
I don't really need a countdown in a normal dungeon, but even like normal, the first week of like a normal raid, it's nice if you can like let the dancers and everybody do their pre-pull buffs and stuff. It really makes a difference.
I kind of think for normal raid, like for Eden Verse, I kind of think at least put a 5-second up so people can just start their cast, instead of me having to ruin 2 to go into it. Let me ruin 3 at least and get the It'll make it go a little faster if I can start my opener,
And that's what's funny, is waiting that 15 seconds saves you more than 15 seconds.
Yes, it does.
And, impatient people don't understand. I also don't want to RP walk through a dungeon.
God, no.
And, I've dragged people through dungeons they probably had no business go learn your job, go learn any mechanics, did people just stand in the bad, or like you mentioned, Aurum Vale, eat fruit. Sometimes people don't understand.
Sure.
I've had people not understand. There's not much interacting things in some dungeons, so when it pops up, it's like, oh, how many times was it Forgal kill us because we didn't realize we had to, or one of those you had to actually interact with the little disc on the floor.
Yeah, that's
right?
Forgal. You had to stand in the puddle, so you had the debuff, so you didn't get killed when the other shit comes out.
Yeah, so...
Forgal was interesting. We learned about Doritos. We learned about
Doritos. Don't be lonely.
Don't be lonely.
Group up if you have Doritos. You have to share your Doritos.
Share Doritos. Lick my finger.
I actually had a black mage die in Forgal this week. And he goes, oh, I guess Mana Ward wasn't enough. And I'm like, no, dude, you didn't have he got the death debuff or whatever in the first phase.
Let me Mana Ward Doom.
yeah, he didn't really realize it was a doom. Now I forget sometimes. I die in the second half sometimes because I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I have to have that debuff before he does the thing. There's a lot of content in this game, and it's very, very easy to forget every single thing, especially and then if you are trying to run stuff leveling up other jobs, you're trying to juggle a job you don't know very well. And I think this is all understandable. At level 50 or 60 content, I'm in there. I can, murder monsters, and I kind of know a rotation. And I kind of know, kind of how it works. But, I've forgotten the mechanics, and I've forgotten, whatever. And, maybe other people are fucking up too. So it can kind of turn into chaos pretty quickly. But I've had some good-natured parties lately. It's been kind of nice.
It's good.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, those in raids, what's the boss with the hair at the end, and she's got the green bubbly thing? What the fuck is her name? Anyway.
Oh, Castafileri or whatever?
Yeah. I got that today in roulette, and the minion dropped like it always does, and I still have never had that one. I finally got her. I finally got that fucking minion.
Wow.
I was pretty happy because I've gotten that. I've rolled low every time. And I think one of the Moogle Tombstone events, it was there, but I think I had enough trouble just getting it. I wasn't playing enough.
I got a visitor.
You got a happy visitor?
A Tonberry has come.
Oh no, don't let him get you.
Don't doink me. Oh, I think he got doinked himself. Live, Tonberry, live.
Oh, cute. But I think too long didn't read. You shouldn't have to watch a video on a dungeon, but do try to go into dungeons. Pushing buttons good. All right, then I don't think I have anything else. Let's do one more call, one more last call, one more shout out for
A Stage Reborn.
A Stage Reborn.
I still have them. I still have them pulled up.
Over and I'm like, what is it? Yeah.
Stage Reborn. You can go to their YouTube. It's just Stage Reborn. Look them up on YouTube. Their website, if that's easier, is AStageReborn.com. So again, stage, STAGE, reborn.com. It's funny when you put those letters together, because then my eyes are going like, Astageraborn?
Astageraborn.
Astageraborn.
It's a new
That's
magical.
my that's my alt's name. Astageraborn.
So yeah, they do good work. In fact, I have to go view another show soon. I know that like one or two have gone by that I just didn't make it. I wasn't home that day or whatever. So all right, then it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find links to all of our episodes and blog posts on our website, www.gtffxiv.com. While you're there, please leave us a comment. If you'd like to, you can support us by clicking the donation button. You can find us on Twitter at GTFFXIV. Email us at gtffxiv@gmail.com. Please rate us. Personal plugs, Ruby.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at RubiconVale, RubiconVale.
And you can find me on Twitter at Yelta Sumasu, YeltaSumasu. As always, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.